Right, so welcome back to My Team Career mode. This is round número 4 of season número 2. And we're going to a brand new track. I have never driven at this circuit on this year's game, and I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. On F124, let's just say I wasn't the best at this track, but I'm hoping that on F124, things are a little bit different. So let's get to qualifying, and it might be a sprint weekend, but I'm not so sure. Right, so I can confirm it is a sprint weekend, so of course we have sprint qualifying first. It looks like it's going to be dry for at least SQ1, but SQ2 and 3 does look a bit dodgy, but let's be honest, there's not a very high chance I'm making it to SQ2 anyway. Now, what I will say about this circuit is, for some odd reason, one that I cannot figure out myself, my Sector 2 is extremely fast compared to the AI, so I'm hoping that can help me at least gain a few positions, because for the first time, I don't want to qualify P20 for the first time this season. I want to be, you know, P18, P17, that kind of area, do you know what I mean? Now, of course, in a sprint qualifying session, you only get one set of medium tyres, so I think I'm just going to wait until the clock gets all the way down to like 2 or 3 minutes left and only do one run. There's no point doing a second run on old mediums. I might as well just give it the beans on one flying lap and just see where it puts me. Alright, here we go then, my one and only run in this qualifying session. I just want to say before I begin, if you could please like the video, because it really does help, like, properly. It's really good. And, yeah, let's see what I can do. First competitive lap around Miami on F124. Here we go. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save my ERS until the back straight, because I feel like that would just give me a lot of sector time. Through turn 1, a little bit dodgy. Of course, I am on the medium tyre, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. Now here, I should be able to do this. Yes, without braking. Just a little lift. I've got a bit wide through there. Oh, hang in there. Okay. Now, wait. Oh, I've got a bit wide through there as well. That is a really poor sector 1, as you can see. I'm half a second down already. I don't know why, but that final corner of Sector 1, the very long left, I just can't do it. I've never been able to. But we move. Now, this is where I can hopefully be strong and claw a bit of time back, but it's very smelly, I'm not going to lie. It's very smelly. I've only gained 4 milliseconds off that. It's just this car. It's so slow, and of course being on the medium tyres, you combine those things together, and any strength that I might have is just gone in an instant. Around the penultimate corner, or actually, is this? No, this is the penultimate corner. Round the final corner, and... Well, I'm not last. I guess that's something, I'm not last. Did I out-qualify my teammate? Is he the one in 22nd? I hope so, and it should be. And yes, it is. So, whew, I tell you what, something's got to change with this series soon, because this isn't entertaining. Not for me recording, nor for you watching. What is the point of driving around in P21 and 22? As you can see, I was 2.5 tenths off P20. My teammate is half a second off me. Why? And I know the reason why. It's because upgrades now cost 1,800 R&D points. I only get 400-500 per round. So meanwhile it takes me so many more rounds to get upgrades. Everyone else, because they've got better facilities, they're just constantly getting more upgrades quicker, so I will always be going backwards. My only chance in this series is to not spend a single penny on my teammate and dump it all into facilities. But anyway, we'll be starting P21 for the Miami sprint race. Not ideal. Right, so here we are on the grid. We're actually, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought we were going to be using the medium tyres for this entire race, but it seems like we're actually going to be going on to the softs. I quite like that, you know. I think everyone else is going to be on softs, but that's pretty cool. There's nothing else to really say, really. I think we should just begin. Miami sprint race, here we go, round number 4, and we are away. Now, my start, it's definitely average. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad by any means. I am going to hold... Oh, that was close. That was way too close with the Haas cars. I'm going to try and do a switchback on Jack Doohan. And another one. And another one. And it's not really working because the Haas are actually building a blockade by accident with them going wheel to wheel. They're actually building a wall of Haas. So I won't be able to get by unless I can try slip up the inside of one of them here. No, they are still going... Hang on a minute, no. It's still on here. With Jack Doohan, no, never mind. They were actually building a wall of Haas. That was quite incredible. Now, my straight line speed should be very competitive. I am running a lot less downforce than any other car, and I'm actually... No, never mind. Once again, I was going to go down the inside of Jack Doohan, but he's gone and sent it on his own teammate. And I keep trying to do switchbacks on them, but nothing's working because they keep building walls of Haas. But hang on a minute. Potentially round the outside into Sector 2. Oh, that's a lovely move. Jack Doohan, you have just been defecated on. Lovely move. Up into P20, and we're off. Alright, DRS is now enabled. It is quite difficult to stay within a second of Sargent, especially with how poor I am through Sector 1, but I have managed it. I do have DRS. Is it even enough to defend from Jack Doohan, though? He's going to go to the outside. Hulkenberg's looking for it as well. Now, I am going to have the inside line, so I should be okay, and that I am. And actually, Hulkenberg's trying to give it someone Jack Doohan. Go on, lad. Rare Hulkenberg overtaking moment. That might be his first overtake attempt this whole season. Well done, lad. Right, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. We have 2.5 laps left of this sprint race. It's been extremely dull and boring thus far. I'm just stuck behind Sargent. No real way of getting by. I'm not only too slow, but these Saubers up ahead are defending for their life. The tyres are also quite awful at this stage. It's like someone has just gone into like Sainsbury's, completely bought every single washing up liquid and just covered the whole track in it. It's like I'm literally on a slip and slide every single corner. I also still haven't figured out that corner before Sector 1 ends. I literally can't do it. And now I've actually lost DRS, so it could be over for me. Luckily, though, my straight line speed is extremely good. But, yeah, I don't know what it is about that corner, but I just can't do it. I'm going to have to watch what the AI do in the replay and just see if I can replicate it. But as you can see, even going on very low throttle, my car just doesn't work as intended. And here comes Doohan. I don't think there's much I can do to defend. I have overtake on, and he still just blitzed past me. Alright, I can still fight it, though, round the final corner. Well, not technically the final corner, but let's be honest, these aren't corners. And I have actually lost that place as we start the final lap. Well, wow. Yeah, this car is awful. Like, this is really, really bad. Like, this is, like, red flag levels of bad. This is concerningly bad. And as you can see, I have already lost 2 seconds to Sargent. Okay, yeah. Right, yeah, sure. My tyres are gone then. Brilliant. I've lost 2.5 seconds to Sargent in 2 sectors. I have lost... Oh! I've had my ERS on none. Really? Wow, what an idiot I am. You know what? Screw this game. I don't even care anymore. Like, genuinely. This game is horrid. Well, anyway, Hamilton's going to take the win. And once again, it's just another pointless sprint race. I wish you could just, like, not participate in them because they are completely pointless. But anyway, we crossed the line. I don't know. I don't even feel like it. I feel like just getting on a plane and just going home. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be here. This track is horrible. The car is even worse. I somehow switched my ERS to none. I don't know how I managed to do that. That is genuinely incredible, but whatever. It's P21. I didn't really care about the sprint race anyway. Of course, the sprint race means absolutely nothing, even if you win. The only thing that's important is the Grand Prix, which we will now be qualifying for in a second. So here's the final order for those interested. Here are the standings. So Lando Norris, 1 point lead over Oscar, 7 points back to Max Verstappen, and a 31 point gap in the Constructors. Right, qualifying time for the main Grand Prix. Here we go. Alright, so welcome to qualifying for the main Grand Prix. Now, my teammate, Nico Hulkenberg, is currently, as you can see, P21 with a lap time of a 1 minute 29.9, which is 0.8 of a second off Zhou Guanyu. So I am very confident that I can beat Hulkenberg's time, but I'm definitely not beating Zhou Guanyu's time. Alright, through Sector 1, I am only 0.4 of a second down to Zhou Guanyu. Not half a second like I was in the sprint quali, so, you know, half a tenth up, that's pretty good, really. Through Sector 2, it's a little bit better. I'm now only 3.5 tenths down, and I've realised that the main issue with this car is, I know it sounds like obvious, well, yeah, obviously, that's why your car's slow, but there's just a severe lack of grip. Like, even on brand new soft tyres, I'm skidding all about the place. But anyway, we crossed the line, and I'm 21st. But, and there is a but, and there is good news, I am closer to Zhou Guanyu and the rest of the field than I was in the sprint quali. So, I suppose that's a little win. And here we go, final run in qualifying. I will be happy if I can just improve my lap time. That's all I want to do. I'm not getting into P20 or anywhere higher. I probably will be P21. So I just want to improve my lap time. So let's see if I can do it. Into turn 1, a little bit wide. I'm going to go over the curb, take a bit more risk. Had a bit of oversteer, and I am going to be down a little bit. It's a little bit of overtake, gain some time back. Now, I'm just going to lift through here and be brave about it. Little touch of the brakes. Ride the curb. Brake a lot more heavier through here. Get on the exit. Okay. That was actually a pretty decent Sector 1. I find myself 1.5 tenths up. I'm happy with that. That's good. Now into the hard braking. Pretty much nailed the braking zone. I was lying. I was a couple meters too late, but it's not the end of the world. Gotta be careful of the grip through here. It is scarily low. Be careful of that inside curb. I have not been careful of that inside curb, and that's going to lose me near enough all the time I just gained, but I still managed to find just over 1 tenth. Okay, this is a pretty good lap so far. Get the ERS on, burn the overtake, go down to about there. Brake into technically the final corner. Little bit too late again. Very nice exit though. And I managed to find 0.3 of a second, which, to be honest, it's not even like, it's nothing. And there you have it. P21 again. I feel like every single round in this season, I'm going to be P21 or P20. There's nothing else to really go for. At least what I can hope for is that the gaps to the cars ahead are a little bit lower, maybe? No, it's actually even bigger than the sprint quali. Wow, we are that bad, huh? Wow, okay, so in sprint qualifying, my gap to P20 was about 2.5 tenths. Now it's 3.5 tenths, and that's what you want to see. Hulkenberg as well, a little bit closer, only 4 tenths away, not 5. So, it's P21 for the Grand Prix, and is it even worth doing? Who knows, really? And here we go for race day. Now, for this race, I always have a target or a dream, but I genuinely don't. My only aspirations for this race is the cup of tea that I'm going to make when it's over. So, my aspiration, my dream, my objective, my target for this race is to just finish it. Like, that is it. Alright, here's the strategy for those interested. We're going for a soft to medium. The game was actually telling me to do soft to hard, which I can kind of see why you'll have more stability with the lap times, but Honestly, I'd rather do mediums. It's, you know, a second quicker. Why not? Do you know what I mean? So, let's do this thing. The Miami Grand Prix, round number 4. Here we go. And we are away. Reaction time was very good. And the start was also fantastic. But look at that. Nico Hulkenberg. Oh my goodness. Fat Krim. Out of nowhere. Up the inside of Jack Doohan. And can I make it stick? No. Because Zhou Guanyu cuts me off. And that allows Doohan to not only overtake me, but overtake Joe. What a moron. And Hulkenberg, who managed to get ahead of me off the line, is now back down to where he belongs in P20. Up the inside of Zhou Guanyu. Can I make that stick? Go on. Come on, girl. Come on. Straight line speed, please. No. Yes. 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 Okay. I've got alongside. I've used all my ERS. Jack Doohan's getting quite close. Down the inside of Jack Doohan. Oh my goodness. This is a very exciting lap 1. I can't even get one sentence out before it's just something going on. My Christ. Okay. Right, Jack Doohan, stop trying to drive into me. It's not going to work. Okay. Out of Sector 2, I've managed to gain 2 places on the opening lap, and I am up to P19. Here comes Jack Doohan, though, and Zhou Guanyu, both of them. There's nothing I can really do to defend. I know that's bad. Sorry. I've just completely ran him up the arrows there. That's my bad. And as we finish lap 1, we are still wheel to wheel with Jack Doohan. And his car is just so much quicker than mine, even in a straight line, while I'm using, you know, overtake. But I have managed to hold on. And now it's just defending and fighting, probably the whole way through. Right, it's now lap number 4. Sargent has made his way past Kevin Magnussen, who, as you can see, has medium tyres, so maybe there's a world where I could try and get past, since I'm on the softer compound. Jack Doohan is really annoying me, constantly trying to overtake in places where you can't overtake, and at any minute I will snap and I will put him into a wall on purpose. But we haven't got to that stage just yet. What I need is Sargent to pull away a little bit so I can go for a move on Magnussen. The tyres are hanging in there. I reckon it'll be the same as the sprint race, about 6 or 7 laps before they're just completely useless. Here comes Jack Doohan down the inside, but now I need to brake early because Magnussen's in the way. And this is what I mean. Doohan has just been a pain in my side this entire weekend so far. I'm getting oversteer in 6th gear on a flat corner, because that's just how this game works, I guess. And I'm just going to completely block him off. And I have managed to defend, but I've had to use pretty much my whole overtake tank. So, yeah, fun. This is great. I'm having a great time. Love this. Alright, you know what? This car is undrivable. I'm coming in. Like, honestly, I could barely get around a straight line without, you know, nearly crashing. It is actually undrivable, so I don't think the strategy is going to work. I don't think the undercut is even possible round here. I don't know. Honestly, I'm tired, okay? I'm Jurgen Klopp. I'm running out of energy, to be honest. Good stop time, though, 2.3 seconds. Yeah, what I can say for certain is Miami will never be returning to the calendar in any, series. Because, to be honest, I feel bad for the real-life Formula 1 drivers that had to suffer through this. Because this is the worst racing track I have ever driven round in any video game I have ever played. And I am not joking. It is awful. Maybe if I was in the RB20, I would have a different opinion, because my car could actually get around a corner without nearly somersaulting, you know, into a tree. But I'm not. I'm in a car that is probably slower than an F2 car, to be honest. I genuinely think this is slower than F2. It's really bad. Some positive remarks, seems like the first one this video. My car is actually quite quick. Of course, I'm on brand new tyres, so you'd hope it'd be fast, but as you can see, we've got a green sector through Sector 1, and I am catching the cars ahead, so an undercut should be possible, but of course, the undercut is, you know, a two-part thing. Because not only do I have to get in front of the cars in the first place, I then have to, of course, stay ahead of them with older tyres. And I'm just hoping that the straight line speed of this car can be enough, which, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it is. And here we go then. Across the line, you can see there are a couple of drivers pitting. Zhou Guanyu and Gasly. Remember, I was just in front of Zhou Guanyu when I stopped. I'm going to exit the pits alongside Pierre Gasly, around the outside of Pierre Gasly, and I think I've got the place, though he's still fighting, but now I've got the inside line, and there it is. So, I have managed to undercut Zhou Guanyu by about 2 seconds, which means the undercut does work. It's just, was it worth it? I've now got Gasly right behind me, and of course he will have DRS, which means, yeah, I might be in the mud. Let's see though, maybe my car will actually manage to hold on. Hang on, here he comes. Yeah, I can defend from this quite easily. I have braked astronomically too late there, but that'll have to do. Here comes Gasly again, and I can't do anything. There's literally nothing I can do. I don't want to use all of my overtake, because then I have none left. But, yeah. And then, how is he able to brake that late and still make the corner? And exit without no oversteer? Wow, the AI are overpowered in this game. Holy moly. We can see the rest of the field now coming into the pits. Gasly has got that place. Honestly, he could just sod off, to be honest. Here's the other Sauber. He clots right into me. Good driving there from Magnussen. Very similar to how he is in real life. But I've got ahead of him as well. So honestly, the undercut, it's worked, but it's not brilliant because I've gained a total of 1 place because of it. And now I've got 3 lap older tyres. So, I don't know if it was worth it, to be honest. You can see Gasly already 1.3 seconds ahead. Magnussen already ahead before we even get to the corner. Like, wow. The AI really, like, they put out all the stops for this track. My goodness. Oh, we have a yellow flag somewhere, and that is going to be, I believe, Nico Hülkenberg pulling out of this race. It's gone from bad to worse for the PG Tips Footcrim F1 team. You know, me in P17, although to be fair, on the upside, my pace is very, very nice at the moment. But it is just getting worse for the team as Hülkenberg, who was already last by a few seconds, now drops out of the race. I wouldn't blame him, or, you know, reprimand him if he just done it on purpose. If he just pretended that his car blew up so he could just leave. Honestly, I wouldn't complain. That's fine with me, because I would do the same. But P17 is actually a decent result at the moment, if I can keep it. Right, I'm not sure what's happening here, but there is a massive pile-up of cars. I suspect they have been doing a lot of battling, because look at everyone huddled together, but, yeah. I was going to say, like, maybe I could, like, you know, prioritize off this and maybe go for a move on Ricciardo, but my exits are just so egregious in this car that I can't even get remotely close enough to go for a move into this corner. So we have 4 laps remaining. At the moment, I will probably still be here in P17. Alright, penultimate lap of the race, and I don't know why, but Kevin Magnussen has suddenly decided that he wants to be Michael Schumacher, because he is now astronomically quicker than I am, especially down the straights. It's really, really bad. I suspect it's because my tyres are now ruined. Because obviously I stopped about 3 laps earlier than anyone else, my tyres are absolutely finished. And as you can see, it's happening again. The same thing that happened in the sprint race, where I was competitive until the last lap or two, where the rest of the field are just gone. Almost a second in one sector, Daniel Ricciardo pulls away, and now I've got to try and defend from K-Mag, and defending from K-Mag is one of the hardest things you can do. And here he goes, he's going to send it out the inside, I'm going to block him off. Now I've got the inside line, so I've managed to survive 1 DRS straight, but I've got to survive 4 more. Ran a really nice exit at the end of Sector 2 there. That should make me okay from K-Mag. Down the straight, I should be good. Which means Into the final lap we go. I've only got to survive, well, basically 1 DRS. Actually, no, 2. And here we go. All of this to fight for the mighty position of P17. DRS Zone 1, I've managed to survive. I think Daniel Ricciardo's had a huge lockup through there as well, but as you can see... Let's try that again, shall we? As you can see, and I don't even remember what I was going to say, I need to get out of here. I need to, like, you know, get this car in the pit lane, get it, you know, shut off, and get on that plane immediately. I am never, ever coming back to this place. If I could, I would bomb it every single day. Here we go. DRS zone number 2. I've got a decent amount of ERS to defend with, but it's just not going to be enough. Overtake on, and there goes K-Mag sailing through. I am going to fight him, though, because why wouldn't I? And I think I've actually just got that place back, and I have. Look at that. World class, just taking advantage of the AI. There, that's what that was. At the end of Sector 2, there we go. Oscar Piastri wins the race. Well done to him, and I think I might just hang on here. Come on. Go. Yes. Yes, okay, I've managed to survive. We've got 3 corners remaining, technically just the one, which is here. All I need to do is just live, and I have. And there you have it. The Miami Grand Prix is done. Finally. That was the most miserable experience I have ever had in any F1 game, and I played F122 for upwards of 1,000 hours, and that was by far the most agonizing, terrible thing to ever happen in my life while playing this game. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, who is, of course, any French resident. That was basically just an endless list of problems all stacked on top of each other. This track is awful. It is the worst racing track. I said it earlier, that I've never driven at a place where there is, like, less fun, like, anywhere. Plus, the car, I've never been so, you know, out of sync with the car. I couldn't get it round a corner without nearly spinning on any compounded tyre, on any fuel load. It just wouldn't happen. And yet, I somehow go and put out a P17 finish, which, given the circumstances, that's like winning the World Championship to me. So even though I am currently miserable and I actually seek death, that's a good result. That is actually a good result. Here are the championship standings. Oscar Piastri now takes the lead, because of course he won, over Lando Norris with 7 points the difference. Max Verstappen in P3, 17 points back. Here's the constructors. McLaren now lead by 54. They must have had a very good day, and they did. A 1-2 for McLaren. Meanwhile, Red Bull were 3-7. Ugh. Perez letting the team down once again. Are we still, you know, all the way down here? P17 in the drivers for me. And, yeah. I'm going to go do a cup of tea. Sorry this video was so garbage. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just this series and this game is crap. Do you know what I mean? So, thank you for watching. If you did manage to get the whole way through, I suggest you go seek a therapist, because there's clearly something wrong. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.